Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Wartrain here. If you're new, do me a favor, please subscribe and click that notification bell down below so you can be notified of all my new videos. And with that said, guys, today's video is about the state of gaming. Let's talk about everything gaming, games, consoles, collectibles, all that good stuff, new tech, old tech. Just love all that stuff. Retro and new stuff, that is where it's at. So let's check it out, and welcome to my channel, Wartrains Wins. Alright guys, so we just got the Nintendo Direct, or the E3 press conference from Nintendo, and they showed off Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel, which is just awesome. I'm here with my daughter. We have a little bit of a theory here. We're wondering who this mysterious
man.
Yeah, this mysterious mummy or whatever you want to call it. This, I guess it'd be the villain. We don't really know. It looks like some kind of mysterious villain, and it takes place underneath the castle, obviously. But just really dissecting it, we were kind of freeze framing and going through the video and checking it out. We're going to show you who we think it is, but let's get to that in the video. Let me skip ahead. This is going to be so epic. I cannot wait to play this game, and definitely at least to hear more about it. I'm super interested to see who this villain is. Okay, so here is a great picture of, I guess we'll call him the villain, because that's what we're assuming here. But if you take a look, you notice he has, a headpiece, some kind of decorative jewelry with a gem on top of his forehead. And he has like thick red hair, almost like not quite dreadlocks, but similar. And, in the beginning they show this hand and it looks like writing. We looked through all the different texts in the book, and it's just too hard to be able to clarify if it is actually one of these texts. I mean, there's Sheikah text, which we don't think that's it. No. It actually looks like the Wind Waker text more probably than anything else, because you have the Twilight text, you have the Hylian text. There's so many texts. It's just too difficult to decipher, especially with they show like a trail behind it, so it's too muddy for us to be able to clearly decipher anything.
It's hard to pinpoint
one. It's hard to pinpoint one language or whatever. There's so many of them, and believe me, we really looked deep into it, and we couldn't find anything. I'll show you earlier in the video. They do show a hieroglyph of this Sheikah text, and they show this, I'm assuming this villain here on the wall, on the old stone wall as they're walking, and they show him riding a horse. So I'm kind of thinking maybe he's somebody that was in power and of the Sheikah, like maybe some kind of a boss or king or something of that, whatever kind of leader of the Sheikah. And because they actually build all this tech, and they show that in the Breath of the Wild map. They show that trees, and then they show them with axes cutting them down, and they show them like farming. And I have it right above me, and then it shows like civilization. It kind of goes through the stages of their like evolution, yeah. And then it shows like when they progress to like a city level, and you see the castle in the background, and then they show the castle, and then they show what looks to be Sheikah with machines that they built. And then it shows the king chasing them out. And that kind of goes along with the story in Breath of the Wild, that they kind of reached like high society and like extreme high-tech civilization.
Probably too high-tech.
Yeah, probably too high-tech, and the king probably felt threatened, so he ran them out. So that's what we're thinking, because then on the bottom of this big map, it shows the guards all the soldiers chasing them out, and they're just running. But this villain looks like another villain, and I want to show you guys this. Hopefully you can see it. This is on a Chromebook here, but what do you think? So this is Yuga from Link Between Worlds. He has this same headset with this gem here. I mean, granted, they are like different color gems. This one's more red. That one's looks like a yellowish gem lit up. So I mean, it's hard to say, but it's definitely just like that on his forehead. And then you have that red, thick, flowing hair behind it. He definitely has some sort of garb on, some kind of robes, but it's hard to tell because it's all shredded. But I mean, it could be like a scarf, just kind of like hanging down off of his mummified, skinny body. But it's definitely curious. I mean, he does have, a really skinny face. You don't really see pointed ears there, so I mean, but it is a little tough to tell. I mean, they could have changed that, but it definitely makes you wonder. Just trying to, think, who could this villain be? I mean, could this be some kind of reincarnation of maybe Demise's mummified body or something? I mean, the creators could go so many places with this, and there's so many games they can pick and choose from. I mean, who knows? We could see the Triforce really, be established and come to light in this sequel to Breath of the Wild. You just don't know. And it's definitely interesting, and I can't wait to see tons of videos on this. Because I'm sure people have all kinds of different, ideas or conspiracies. But that's ours. We're kind of thinking that he definitely looks like Yuga, which was a sorcerer who turned people into paintings. If you've never played Link Between Worlds, he turned them into paintings, and he actually winds up merging with Ganon at the end of the game, which is pretty awesome. And he wields 2 pieces of the Triforce, and he's trying to get the third. And he's actually super powerful, and it's cool because in that game you actually get all 3 pieces of the Triforce and touch it at the end of the game. You actually touch it and make a wish, and you actually wish it to, I want to say, restore Lorule, but I want to say give them back a Triforce of their own, something like that, because they banished their Triforce and destroyed it. But I'm gonna jump back earlier so you guys could take a look at some of this. Okay, so right here you can see in that lit up green, this stuff kind of does look like text, and it's definitely hard to tell because you have trails of light behind it, and it kind of blends in, and you can see, yeah, it almost looks like it's spelling stuff. And I really hope somebody can decipher some of this at least. But right here, okay, this is what I was talking about, the picture on the wall, on the stone wall here. So whoever this is, they have some kind of a trident, which he doesn't have a trident. So, I mean,
he has a staff.
Yeah, I mean, he has a sorcerer's staff, but, who knows? So that definitely makes you wonder. I mean, is there a character that does have a trident like that? I mean, when he turns into Ganon, does he have a trident? When he's whatever they call him, Yuga Ganon, or whatever, does he have a trident when he does that? You should look that up, Ganon, or when he combines, and see if he has that.
When you said robe, it reminded me when I was looking online. I found something about his robe. I forget which form, but he had a torn up robe at some point in one of his forms, and I'm wondering if it was the form when he was with Ganon inside of him.
It might be. When he merged with Ganon, he was super powerful, and Link Between Worlds is a great game for anybody that hasn't played it. The game's awesome. Go check it out on 3DS. You won't be disappointed. But they can merge these different worlds. I mean, in Breath of the Wild. I mean, we don't know exactly where this is in the timeline, but we all kind of know that it's like at the end of the timeline, at the end of one timeline or all timelines. Who knows? They really, that's all debatable. We're not really sure. I'm sure some people think they know 100%, but
I found that after merging with Ganon, his clothing becomes tattered.
Yeah, so his clothes do get all ripped up when he turns into Ganon. You should see if you can find him into Ganon form, like on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely be cool to see him when he's merged and see if he does have some kind of a trident. I don't remember specifically in the game if it changes, but I mean, you can see this character here. They're showing him again, just like Yuga. He has a long pointy nose, real slim kind of face, and he has that long red hair. And we're seeing it here in this. He's riding a horse. I mean, Yuga, he's like a sorcerer or magician from low roll, but I mean, he was in high roll. So who knows? They could play it however they wanted to. Yeah,
I did find an image of him.
Yeah, we'll show.
Merged with Ganon.
All right, so this is him merged with Ganon. In this picture, they don't show any specific weapon, but maybe we can pull up another picture here.
Yeah, I'll try to find some other pictures.
Because I want to say that there is other bosses that do have tridents through the games. I can't. Ganon has a trident. So, it really makes you wonder. Or could this be Ganondorf when he was a Sheikah? Now, there's another thought. He was the leader of the Sheikah clan when he was younger. He was a king. He was a prince when he was a kid, but he was the king of the Sheikah. He was like the only male or whatever, he was a Gerudo king, sorry. He was a Gerudo king, and he was the only male, and he became the king like in Ocarina of Time. That's how it was, but, so maybe, for whatever reason, maybe that's Ganondorf, and maybe that's him riding his big horse that you find in the game that resembles the one from Ocarina of Time, the giant horse. But who knows? Maybe that's him. I didn't even think of that till now. It definitely could be Ganondorf because, he does have that long red flowing hair, and he does have that piece on his head. Pull up a picture of Ganondorf.
Oh, well, I have a picture of the weapon.
Okay, so, yeah.
Yuga.
So here's Yuga, and
Ganon.
it's hard to see here,
yeah,
but he does have a trident here. So that's definitely makes you wonder. So that's very possible. So we're going to see if we can pull up a picture of Ganondorf. I guess check Ocarina of Time maybe. It could be Ocarina of Time, or could be Twilight Princess. Either one. I'm sure, you just pull up Ganon and it'll probably show him. Yeah, I want to say Ganon he has a piece on his head. So that actually may be him. Because I believe he has a yellow jewel on his head.
He does.
Yes.
He has like the exact kind of
Okay,
one.
now we're getting somewhere, guys. So let's check this back out again. Let's pull this up. We're going to show you this. So, wow, I think that's him.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking this is Ganondorf, and with the malice, they're resurrecting him possibly, which, if that's the case, is absolutely awesome.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Okay, so right there we have Ganondorf pulled up, and just like in this, he has a long pointy nose. He doesn't really have pointy ears, so that would kind of go with the mummified remains. But that jewel on his head is yellow. So, and his clothes are kind of tattered, and especially if he was mummified for a long time. Yep. So, we're going to go back. And those hands really remind me of those, what are they? like wall masters or something that pull you down into the floor and take you back to the level, the hands. Let's see here. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're seeing. Okay. Oh, Wall Masters. Okay.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it looks like a wall master, especially the wall masters from the Wind Waker, because they're like really just an arm that pull you down into the floor. It almost reminds me of that, and that purple, which looks like Malice, but the wall masters are actually like in a purple mist like that. So I don't know, they're not blue like that.
It doesn't really look like a Wall Master if you want to show them.
Well, there's different wall masters. The one from the Wind Waker looks like that, but you should keep that picture of Ganondorf up real quick, and then we'll look at his headpiece right here, because I could definitely see that being possibly Ganondorf, because he has that red flowing hair.
Well, he did, I think, but I think he cut it. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, he has longer hair in some of the later games. Right there in Ocarina of Time, he was young.
Okay.
Yeah, that definitely.
He does have the stone. He has a necklace of the stone too.
Let me see. All right, so let's check this out. This is Ocarina of Time Ganon here, if you can see that. Sorry about the glare if that's all you're seeing, but he does have a jewel at the top of his head here. He has a necklace, so he's definitely wearing some jewelry, which this guy's definitely wearing jewelry. I messed it up here.
With Yugo,
here we go.
They did say that he wore jewelry similar to Ganon, I think.
So, yeah, I mean, so we're thinking, either Yuga or Ganondorf, which, no matter who it is, it's super cool. This guy's awesome. I just want to know who this villain is and who Nintendo's using to be the villain in this game, because, wow. Calamity Ganon was cool, but bringing back Ganondorf would be awesome. Especially too if the Malice wasn't completely defeated, and somehow or it just kind of like went a little bit of it escaped and was able to just grow, or maybe there was some kind of magic. Who knows?
He was a sorcerer, so
right.
I mean,
He's a sorcerer, or like Yuga was a sorcerer. Both him and Ganon were both some of the best sorcerers ever. So it definitely makes you wonder, guys. Just a thought. But what do you guys think? That's what's important. Let's see. So right here's really where you see this red flowing hair. And that's what really was screaming either Yuga or just made it pop in my head that maybe Ganondorf. Because at first I was thinking Yuga because of just how his hair is almost like a dread. It's real just thick chunks. But Ganon, it could be Ganon. I mean, his hair did, get like that as he was older. It became a lot longer.
I saw that Yuga had red braided hair, it said. So. Yeah,
and I mean, who knows, like, it could just be some kind of Sheik that was a leader, and maybe this is a new villain. I mean, we just don't know. But it's definitely exciting to think about this and talk about it, guys. Especially so early, because we just got such a small teaser, and it really makes you wonder, because in there, if you keep freeze framing it, you see a underground temple with right here with hands on each side, with a staircase, which is super cool.
Something in the middle of it.
It almost looks like there's something in the middle here. We can't really make out exactly what that is. It's definitely neat, though. The hands really look cool. I mean, it definitely has like an ancient vibe to it, for sure. And knowing in the game that the Sheikah were like the ancient peoples of this universe or whatever, they built some cool stuff. I mean, figure they're the ones that build all the shrines and the Sheikah Towers and possibly all these old monuments and stuff. But yeah, definitely can't wait for this game. I still can't even believe it was announced. And this part right here really is reminiscent of like the end of the game, almost like where Malice Ganon, Calamity Ganon was cocooned, hanging in a big cocoon.
Oh.
And this Malice or whatever it is like rushing to the top here. Let's see.
I wonder what the sirens.
Let's see. Hold on. There's one other
Zelda
shot.
did cut her hair.
Yeah, Zelda definitely got a haircut. This is really cool too. This silhouette is just awesome looking. It's so creepy.
Does the red or just flowing hair?
Yeah, you
pointy
really
nose
see the hair there, and that pointy
and
nose. And really, I mean, that's why it's so hard to tell. You could say this would be the face, maybe a Ganondorf or Yuga. It's so hard to tell because really, from the side, this is what first made me think it could be Yuga, is seeing this picture from the side, because he just had that long pointy nose too, and just looked like an evil sorcerer, and it's just really creepy looking. This game got such a dark vibe. I love it.
I almost wonder too if Yuga and Ganon are merged.
Well, if they merged, they'd be a lot bigger.
True.
And it's somebody, or whatever it is, it's some kind of evil power going into this body. So it's just like, who is this
There
body?
is another shadow, which I think is the hand.
Yeah, that shadow is the hand. But it's a creepy hand.
It does
look at
look
the
like
claws.
it looks like a human hand there.
Look at the claws on that.
I know.
It's just so cool.
Looks like a bird or something.
But that's our theory, guys. This villain is either Yuga or Ganondorf, but
In our opinion.
in our opinion, still we don't know who it is. But we're definitely open to all kinds of ideas and looking forward to definitely seeing what people think.
Definitely.
But can't wait for this game, guys. But that's the video. Do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share with your friends. I'm the War Train,
I'm Michaela.
and we're out. Have a good one.
Bye.